Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder lesson number 124. We'll go through 10 advanced words and talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and review a couple of examples for each. We'll finish with a story and a quick review to hear the words in context. We'll finish with a review of each word quickly at the very end. This is a series, so if you like this video, subscribe for more. It'd mean a lot to me. Let's get started. First, I'll read the words. Clinical, subsequently, solidarity, team, heuristic, Oust, Machiavellian, fiscal, apathy, dominion. First, clinical. This means relating to the observation and treatment of actual patients rather than theoretical or laboratory studies as an adjective. Efficient and unemotional, coldly detached as an adjective. So clinical can be used in the context of a healthcare setting. That's its most common sort of usage. The second meaning is a little more interesting to us though right now. When we're talking about someone being clinical, we're saying that they're not really acting on or displaying emotion. Take, for example, those who were in charge of companies that did mass layoffs. In a lot of instances, they were quite clinical in how they did that. They looked at the numbers, performance metrics, they looked at people's hiring tenure, and then just laid off a third of their staff without having very much sort of expressed emotion. And that was certainly a clinical and calculated approach in terms of doing layoffs. Examples are, the doctor's clinical demeanor reassured the patient during the examination. Her approach to problem solving was clinical, focusing solely on the data. Subsequently. This means after a particular thing has happened, afterward, as an adverb. So something that happens subsequently will occur after a particular thing. So think of and then. So this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. You can say, this happened, subsequently this happened, subsequently this happened. It's really a word you can use to substitute the and then. Examples are, he missed the deadline and was subsequently removed from the project. The company restructured and subsequently profits began to rise. Solidarity. This means unity or agreement of feeling or action, especially among individuals with a common interest as a noun. Mutual support within a group as a noun. So this idea of solidarity means support or unity. So solidarity is a word that's often tied to labor unions, and this idea of solidarity means mutual support. So when people form a union in a workplace, the kind of underlying concept is that they're coming together to support each other and to stand strong with each other. So that's kind of the main association with that word. Examples are, the workers showed solidarity by striking together for better wages. In times of crisis, the community's solidarity was a source of strength. Team. This means be full of or swarming with as an adjective. Notice the spelling, T-E-E-M. This word right here with the two E's is really often used to describe high levels of activity, often amongst multiple parties. So a hive of bees might be teeming with activity. They might be, making honey and doing all of their sort of normal bee activities. I don't know much about bees. A crowd might be teeming with people all moving around. So this word implies action, and it implies kind of a large quantity of either people, animals, things, some sort of movement. Examples are, the market was teeming with shoppers looking for holiday bargains. His mind teemed with ideas for the new project. Heuristic. This means enabling someone to discover or learn something for themselves as an adjective, a heuristic process or method as a noun, and there are additional computing meanings. So a heuristic is a mental shortcut. It's something that's used to help you remember something or something you can use to kind of generalize about a situation. So an example of a heuristic would be when I'm going out shopping, I know no matter what, I'm going to put on some sneakers. I'm going to put on some comfortable shoes. It's something that I don't even have to think about. It's a mental shortcut. I just know that if my intent is to go and visit stores, I need to be wearing comfortable footwear. Examples are, the heuristic approach helped the students learn through hands-on experience. Heuristics can simplify decision-making in situations with limited information. Oust. This means drive out or expel someone from a position or place as a verb. So you might oust a CEO or oust a president or a leader. To oust someone is to remove someone from a position, typically a position with some power. Certainly you could oust someone on a small scale, for example, removing someone from a public committee for your community. However, typically this word is implying removing someone from some sort of meaningful and powerful position. So many countries through history have experienced coups where their leaders were removed from power by hostile forces, and the people who were sitting in power were ousted and replaced by people who had taken over. Examples are, the shareholders voted to oust the CEO after the scandal. She worked tirelessly to oust her competitor from the leading position. Machiavellian. This means cunning, scheming, and unscrupulous, especially in politics, as an adjective. A person who schemes in a Machiavellian way, as a noun. So someone who's Machiavellian is only really thinking about themselves and thinking about power and thinking about ways to increase their power and influence. This word actually comes from a person. Niccolo Machiavelli is a really significant political author who wrote some of the most important political theory that exists. And in one of his pieces, The Prince, he basically wrote a handbook to someone who is in power and told them to be cunning and to be somewhat harsh. From him, that famous quote came, "It's better to be feared than loved." And that is, in a nutshell, what Machiavellian kind of means. It's this idea that you have to do what you need to do in order to get and maintain influence. Examples are, his Machiavellian tactics ensured his rise to power within the company. A Machiavellian approach may achieve short-term success, but can erode trust. Fiscal. This means relating to government revenue, especially taxes, as an adjective. Relating to financial matters, as an adjective. So in political discourse, you'll often hear about fiscal responsibility. So we want governments to make good financial choices and to spend money in the right way. And when they're spending money in the right way, they're being fiscally responsible. Examples are, the government's fiscal policy aimed to reduce the national deficit. The board discussed fiscal strategies to improve profitability. Apathy. This means lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern as a noun. So someone who is expressing apathy really doesn't care, or at least appears not to care. You might say that teenagers are apathetic when they choose not to express opinions or beliefs. And often people will be apathetic in certain situations when they don't really care. So if someone takes me into a Korean barbecue, I'm going to be kind of apathetic about what people are ordering because I don't eat meat and a lot of the food available is meat. So I'm not going to tell my table to order this or that or another thing in terms of the meat because it doesn't affect me. I am apathetic. Examples are his apathy toward the election surprised everyone given his usual passion for politics. Her apathy toward social issues made her an unlikely advocate for change. Dominion. This means sovereignty or control as a noun. The territory of a sovereign or government as a noun. So a king might rule his dominion. I might refer to my home as my dominion somewhat sarcastically. It's this idea that a territory or space is under the rule or control. Examples are, the king claimed dominion over the entire region after the victory. She exercised dominion over the household with fairness and compassion. So, let's read through a story so we can hear these words in context. In a bustling city, teeming with life, the hospital found itself at a crossroads. A clinical decision was on the horizon, one that would determine the future of its operations. The Machiavellian administrator, known for prioritizing fiscal gains over patient welfare, proposed severe budget cuts. Staff meetings were fraught with tension as doctors and nurses voiced their concerns. The administrator, unmoved, pressed forward, intent on maintaining his dominion over the hospital's finances. However, the medical staff, driven by a deep sense of solidarity, refused to stand by idly. Utilizing a heuristic approach, they began collecting evidence of the administrator's dubious financial decisions and their adverse effects on patient care. Subsequently, they launched a coordinated effort to bring these issues to light, rallying support from the community and local media. The community, hoping to combat apathy, quickly mobilized. Public outcry grew louder, demanding accountability and change. Under mounting pressure, the hospital's board of directors convened an emergency meeting. After a thorough review of the evidence and considering the overwhelming public support for the staff, they decided to oust the Machiavellian administrator. With his departure, the hospital was finally free from his restrictive dominion. The atmosphere shifted as new leadership focused on restoring trust and prioritizing patient care. The hospital once again began to thrive, serving as a beacon of hope and compassion for the community. Let's review these words and I'll spell as we go. Clinical, C-L-I-N-I-C-A-L, has to do with the observation or treatment of patients, or can be used in the context of being efficient and unemotional. Subsequently, S-U-B-S-E-Q-U-E-N-T-L-Y means after a particular thing has happened, afterward. Solidarity, S-O-L-I-D-A-R-I-T-Y, means unity or agreement of feeling or action. Teem, T-E-E-M, means be full of or swarming with. Heuristic, H-E-U-R-I-S-T-I-C, means helping someone to discover or learn something for themselves, or a heuristic process or method. Oust, O-U-S-T, means drive out or expel from a position or place. Machiavellian, M-A-C-H-I-A-V-E-L-L-I-A-N, means cunning, scheming, and unscrupulous, especially in politics. Fiscal, Fiscal, means relating to government revenue, especially taxes, or simply relating to financial matters. Apathy, Apathy, means lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. Dominion, Dominion, means sovereignty or control, or the territory of a sovereign or government. Again, those words are clinical, subsequently, solidarity, Teem, Heuristic, Oust, Machiavellian, Fiscal, Apathy, Dominion. Great job today. There are other videos like this on this channel, and more are coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right here, and I'd love to see you practice in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!